From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, this is Hannah Mordeaux, and this is your News 8 Daily for Friday, December 13th. We are cold outside this morning, in the teens, maybe even lower 20s in some places. We had some snow in northern Indiana as well, so there are some slick spots this morning and some school delays. The good news is the temperatures are going to climb today into the 40s, and then this weekend we're going to have a warm-up, but it might bring some rain. Police are pleading for more mental health support for the community after a new shooting by officers. IMPD says it started yesterday afternoon at the Cloverleaf Apartments on the west side of the city. Officers tell us a family argument led to a man to fire a gun in a parking lot, then run from officers when they arrived. Police say the man ignored commands to drop the gun and fired at an IMPD car, leading the officer to shoot. IMPD says the shot grazed the man's neck and he is stable. After the shooting, the police chief spoke passionately about mental health and gun violence.
So we'd rather people get the help they need and the services they deserve before it gets to the point where you're pointing a gun in someone's face, allegedly, and firing rounds in the air, and then firing around at an officer, which results in you being shot. We don't want that to happen. We didn't ask for any of this. We are saddled with a much bigger societal problem that has to be addressed. Or we're going to continue to see some of these things happening.
Prosecutors have not said what charges the man in this case will face. The Winchester Fire Department is mourning a firefighter who died in the line of duty. The fire department says Rick Sanders went into cardiac arrest while responding to a house fire yesterday. Sanders was taken to a hospital where he later died. The Monroe Township Fire Department posted a video on social media of the law enforcement escort of Sanders last night. In a statement, the Winchester Fire Department says his sacrifice for his community will never be forgotten. It goes on to say, "We love you. We will miss you, and we thank you for paying the ultimate sacrifice for us and for the community around you." Rick Sanders was 48 years old and leaves behind a wife, 4 children, and several grandchildren. We're working to learn the name of the person found dead in a house fire in Westfield. The home is in a neighborhood just southwest of US 31 and State Road 32. The city of Westfield says firefighters learned someone may be inside, went in, and found the person quickly, but immediately determined they had died. No word yet on what started that fire. A woman from Indianapolis is one of the 39 people President Biden is pardoning this week. The White House says Emily Good Nelson was convicted on nonviolent drug offenses 20 years ago when she was 19. The Biden administration says Nelson has since earned 2 degrees, works in health care, and has spoken publicly about her drug use and volunteered at a psychiatric facility. As we first told you yesterday on Daybreak, Biden also commuted the sentences of nearly 1,500 people in the largest single-day act of clemency in modern U.S. history. As Governor Eric Holcomb winds down his 8 years in office, he's talking with News 8 about the difficult decisions he faced on the job. He sat down with I-Team 8's Tim Spears, who asked him about Indiana's response to the pandemic, which drew praise from some and criticism from others, including many from Holcomb's fellow Republicans.
Everyone had to pitch in, and I'm just proud of what they did, and I won't second guess decisions that we made. Were they all right? Probably not. Were they all wrong? No. We were seen as a model in so many different respects, and I'm proud of each and every person that came to work every single day, didn't sleep for many days, and was undeterred about completing the job that they had.
You can watch the full interview with Governor Holcomb at wishtv.com. If President-elect Donald Trump and the new Republican-controlled Congress cut Medicaid funding next year, experts say it could put health insurance coverage at risk for hundreds of thousands of people in Indiana. News 8's Kyla Russell explains who could be impacted.
So more than 750,000 Hoosiers are on the Healthy Indiana plan, and the federal government currently covers 90% of the costs. But if Trump cuts Medicaid, that would mean cuts to the Healthy Indiana plan. Now, Indianapolis mom Panchetto Anderson relies heavily on that coverage.
Well, for me, it's scary because Medicaid covered like 80 million people in the world. So it's for people in poverty, you know, middle class, low class. And so with that being said, like without having it, it would take a toll on me.
She uses the coverage to treat her chronic illness. She says she simply would not be able to take proper care of her 7-year-old daughter if she doesn't get that treatment. She says there's no plan B if that coverage ends.
Financially unstable to even supply for our health, and that's dangerous.
President-elect Donald Trump has hinted at making major financial cuts to programs upon his return to office. Those cuts would impact Medicaid, which in turn would impact the Healthy Indiana plan. Tracy Hutchin-Getz at Hoosier Action says the impact is inexplicable.
At its most devastating, we know that lack of health insurance can be deadly. When people delay care because of fear of cost, it can lead to devastating consequences, whether it is someone who is rationing insulin that they could not otherwise afford or other medications that are life-saving.
The effects could be long-term too. People could choose not to go to their annual appointment or follow up on preventative care because they don't have the money to pay for it out of pocket. And hospitals across the state dependent on that federal coverage could be impacted too.
Our provider shortage becoming significantly worse because folks can't afford to practice medicine in this state.
Mom Panchetta plans to make her voice heard before Trump's inauguration.
We need to all come together and go downtown and kind of protest for our health, because if we don't protest for our health, then it's going to be a lot of deaths coming up, because health is the biggest thing in our life and we have to take care of ourselves.
Now, Tracy also said you can contact your representatives with your HIP story and share how losing coverage might impact you. I'm Kyla Russell for Wish TV. WishTV.com, or follow us on Facebook for updates.
Attorneys for convicted killer Joseph Corcoran are going to a federal court to try to stop his execution, which is set for next week. Corcoran's attorneys have asked a federal judge in northern Indiana for a stay of execution, saying he is too mentally ill for capital punishment. His attorneys say Corcoran is even asking to be put to death because he thinks the prison guards are using an ultrasound machine to torture him. Over the past week, the state Supreme Court turned down 2 requests to stop Corcoran's execution. He is convicted of murdering 4 people in Fort Wayne in 1997. As of now, it is scheduled for Wednesday. Switching gears, let's go to Jane King with your business headlines, and she starts with Costco workers considering going on strike.
Costco rejected a majority of the Teamsters' demands as this deadline looms. Now, the company rejected 98% of the things that the Teamsters proposed, including language on seniority, inclement weather, paid family leave, sick time, and safeguards against surveillance. The deadline is January 31st. Now, meantime, Costco did beat earnings expectations. E-commerce sales were up, and it did recently raise membership fees as well. Well, raises for many Starbucks baristas will shrink after the company's worst financial results since the pandemic. Bloomberg reports pay increases will be between 2% and 3%, depending on seniority. The raises are not tied to performance, but rather tenure. And egg prices have been edging higher at the grocery. The bird flu has been eliminating millions of chickens, so there's reduced supply, and consumer egg demand tends to increase around the holidays when the bakers are in high gear. The latest consumer price index data that was issued this week shows egg prices are up 38% in the past year and up 8% just in the past month. Well, it's about to get more expensive to use YouTube TV. YouTube TV is raising the monthly subscription by $10 to $82.99. That's effective January 13th. This is a huge hike from the $34.99 when it first started back in 2017. So far, they have 8 million subscribers, and the company says this price increase will help it with rising content costs. Gen Z consumers, despite growing up with digital sales and digital natives, shop at malls about as much as their boomer grandparents do. Now, this study was by the mall industry group ICSC, and it says spenders in this generation are looking for social connections. They want moments to post on social media. Of course, the mall owners are trying to cater to the teens and 20-somethings with unique features like selfie mirrors, videos, and pop-up concerts. And stocks fell yesterday. We did have a hotter than expected inflation report, but we're back up this morning. Dow's pointing up more than 100. Live from the NASDAQ market site, I'm Jane King. Back to you.
Wish TV is making the holiday season bright for kids across central Indiana with our Wish Tree Toy Drive. We are collecting new, unwrapped toys. We've partnered with Toys for Tots and several businesses here across Central Indiana, including Planet Fitness. We have Alex Paul here at the Planet Fitness on the southeast side. Thank you guys. You've already collected so many toys.
Absolutely.
Why is it important to do this holiday season?
You know, it really helps bring joy not only to the children that are going to be receiving these toys, but to be able to go out of your way and do something kind for someone else. Even though you're not going to necessarily see them open that toy, you know that it's going to someone who really deserves it.
There's a good amount of toys here right now, but you guys are encouraging people to bring more. What should they bring?
So we are looking for new unwrapped toys. We're really searching for baby toys and also toys for those that are in their later teens or early teens. But yeah, the really important thing is new unwrapped toys.
Can people bring it to any Planet Fitness around the Indy area or just right here?
Yep, all local Planet Fitnesses are doing it in our surrounding area, so please stop into anyone near you. And for whatever reason they're not collecting, they will tell you where to go and get those dropped off.
And we could always use more toys, so that's where all of you guys come into play. Bring in that toy, new, unwrapped. If you can't bring it here to Planet Fitness, you can go to our website, wishtv.com. Look for the Wish Tree section, and you can give money there, and we'll buy the toys for you. A food drive looks to help families in need ahead of the holidays. The Christmas Help Program is giving back at Martin University this morning. News 8's Hernan Gutierrez is there with the milestone year for the program.
Well, it's the 30th year that Reverend Richard Hunter Ministries is running its Christmas Help Program, and here to tell us a little bit more about it is Reverend Richard Hunter himself. And Reverend, let's start with what's in these boxes. You guys are trying to feed more than 700 people this year. Tell us what's in the boxes. And
well, you're using the word. We want to help them. We don't want to feed them. We want to help them. And there's a week's worth of groceries in that box. There's a lot of stuff in there. We got gun locks still coming. But if you look in these boxes, somebody donated teddy bears to us. We're putting teddy bears in there. We're putting gun locks. Narcan is supposed to come. When it comes, we'll put that in there. There is fruits, vegetables is in there. There's turkeys. We put a turkey in that box. We have beans. We have cornbread. It is enough groceries in any one of those boxes for a week's worth of groceries for a family of 4.
Reverend Hunter, thank you so much for your time this morning. We really appreciate it. If you didn't sign up for one of the boxes, they are still available if you come around 2 when the distribution is ending. If they still have some left over, they are welcoming people to come pick some of those boxes up. If you did sign up for one, the distribution starts at 10 this morning, and it'll be continuing till about 2 in the afternoon. Reporting in Indianapolis, I'm Hernan Gutierrez, Wish TV, wishtv.com. Follow us on Facebook for updates.
This year is the last chance to see a popular indoor holiday site on Monument Circle. What's known as the Light Bright Tree in the lobby of the AES Indiana building dates back to 1995. AES says this will be the last season for it because of normal wear and tear on the tree's 17,000 bulbs. The company is inviting everyone to visit, take pictures. You have until January 6th. This has been your News 8 Daily from Wish TV. I'm Hannah Mordeau. Watch us on wishtv.com and follow us on Facebook for updates.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go, connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening, and be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.